Today, we're traveling to Ponchatoula, Louisiana, where a missing persons case has now turned into a homicide investigation. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hello, everyone. I'm Pearl.
And I'm Holly.
Welcome to Monday.
Ew. The only good thing that comes out of Monday is a sweet tea episode.
That's right. That's right. Like this is the silver lining of a Monday. Right. Is another episode. Well, I guess, and I'm alive to see the Monday.
Yes. There's always that.
There is that. Especially in the world we live in.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, I had to have a good scream in my car the other day.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes those are warranted.
It was just warranted, and, it's a culmination of a lot of things going on, and I know a lot of people end up doing that. Either a scream or a cry, or a scream and a cry.
I was going to say, I'm probably the scream and a cry every once in a while.
I'm just a scream. It's kind of like, what was that? Oh, on Charmed, when they had the hollow inside of them. And like Cole would release it from the source, and it was like come out of his. That's
mine.
What
you sounded like.
Like that's me releasing like the evil that builds up inside of me. And then once I have a good scream, like 5 seconds later, I'm like, okay, reset. I'm good.
Yeah. They got out all the bad stuff.
But I suggest it. If you're driving right now, rage scream. Just do it.
Pull over.
Yeah.
Pull over and rage scream.
Yep. You'll feel better.
I feel like some screams, it's necessary to close your eyes. So that would not be good while driving.
Yeah. That's true. Me, I'm like eyes wide open. I'm just like, let it all out.
Right.
If it comes out of my eyes, so be it. Like daggers.
I just don't feel like it's as forceful or as loud if I don't like squinch my eyes closed.
I guess so. Yeah. I have squinched my eyes and screamed.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not wasting it.
Right.
Like, we're going full throttle.
I mean, I feel that that's what the little grippy things on the back of the steering wheel's for, because you just hold on and you're just like, rage scream. And then you're like, and then you kind of look around, see if anybody heard you, and then you're like, all right, I'm good.
Right.
And if they did, guess what? Go rage scream.
Right. Then you just smile and wave.
Right. If you don't understand why somebody's like screaming in their car, then you absolutely do not get it.
Mm-mm.
Especially women.
I'm like, I want to know what life you're living that leads to you not having to do that ever.
Right. Right. It must be like nice not to have to rage scream in your car at least once or twice a month.
Or maybe they have like a soundproof booth.
Maybe.
I think every workplace needs one of those.
Mm-hmm.
There should be
one. I think
one.
so too. Like
new like labor law, you have to have a scream booth.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what Monsters Inc. should have had. Instead of like making children scream, they should have just had a scream booth. They could have just went in there and like
perhaps.
I mean, it powered the whole town.
You know? Do you think your scream could power the town?
I think so. I think mine would have like busted some light bulbs. We were like pop, 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 pop.
Oh goodness.
It was in the Walgreens parking lot too. So
Oh. That makes it even better. It's very well trafficked.
But I'm better now. Shake it off.
There you go. shaken, not stirred.
So we're going to Ponchatoula, huh?
Yeah. So we're staying in Louisiana.
Cool.
This one's going to be a little bit different because I wrote nothing. This is pretty much a very unscripted episode.
Yeah, but you know about this one, so
yeah. So a little backstory so that everyone understands why I know what I know about this one. And there's stuff I know I'm not sharing for obvious reasons. This is an ongoing investigation, and I've had conversations with people that I promised I would keep everything said between us very private.
Yes.
Because it's obviously not a bunch of public knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I will not be talking about any of that. What I will be talking about is the stuff that's been released by police and my own personal stuff.
And you've told me a few things, so I will zip it over here and just react to what you say.
Yes.
I'm not going to say a word.
She's not allowed to ask questions for you. So, it's been like a while since this one happened.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about James Wood, and he's actually referred to as Jimmy by his family,
Right.
and so that's what we'll use.
And not to be confused with the actor James Wood.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. Just let's put that out there.
Yes. He's 43 years old, and he actually went missing in June of 2025. When he went missing, there was, obviously, the Tangi Sheriff's Office, Tangipahoa Parish, which we'll just call them TPSO, did all their stuff. They flew drones, all of that. Well, anybody who knows me and knows Rob knows that Rob also flies drones, which is how we ended up even knowing the stuff we know about what has happened on River Road in Ponchatoula. We had a family member reach out and ask if Rob would be willing to fly his drone over there by the property because, they're going to want as much help as possible. Naturally, anybody does. Like, help us find our missing person.
Yeah.
And sometimes the sheriff's office does reach out to Rob for help. Because he does have like a thermal drone and stuff like that, and he has relationships there, so he has been asked to help search for like escaped prisoners and things like that several times.
He looks even somebody's pet that he had to.
Yes, he looks for missing dogs. He does all that. So we were contacted via like Messenger on Facebook about going to fly the drone in this area. And Jimmy had actually been last seen on June 19th on camera on the corner of Highway 22 and Lee's Landing in Ponchatoula. He had gone to a gas station that's right there. And so there's surveillance video that shows him walking into the store. Obviously, he used a electronic form of payment, so that of course shows up from that. And then his family that's local had like reported that they last spoke to him on June 21st, and then they officially report him missing on June 25th. Upon TPSO initially going out to the house where Jimmy was living, they see that his car keys and all his belongings are found at the house. Just not him. As I said before, a relative reaches out. We talked to them about this and whether or not the drone would be completely useful because the lay of the land in the area. When you pull onto River Road, the house, it's actually Jimmy's mom's house, and he was living there alone and remodeling it.
Okay.
when you pull onto River Road, their house is on the left-hand side. But there's like woods before it, his house. There's another house after it that is empty, or was, and we'll talk about that shortly. And then there's like a gravel driveway with more woods on both sides of it that leads back to a house that's off the road. And there's like just a lot of woods right there.
Yeah.
There's another house. Then there's like huge field with woods way back, set back in it. Like it's rural-ish.
Yeah, it's
is the best way to
kind of on the
describe
edge
it.
of like town, but not way, way, way back in the woods. But yeah, it is heavily wooded in that
there's
area.
a lot of woods. And then across the street from their house is also like a little wooded area where there was like an abandoned house that's like overgrown. Some abandoned cars are over there in those trees, and there's like a 18-wheeler trailer, like a pod that's back there as well. And that's all kind of just in that little wooded spot across the street from the house. So we let the relative know that we're going to just drive over there to see if it's even flyable, because what are we going to be able to see?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing, is like the dense trees make it very difficult. Like sure, you can see some stuff, but you really can't see the ground inside of these areas.
Yeah, it's so like thick in there.
Right. And it's been so long that like any heat signatures picked up by thermal. I mean, and it's hot. Mm-hmm. Everything's hot.
Right.
It's South Louisiana.
Right. Everything has a high temperature on it.
It's really, really hot. Mm-hmm. And so flying the area, like, obviously you're just like, everything's warm. We could do it in the evening when it's a little bit cooler in hopes that you're going to see something, but it's very difficult. So we went and checked out that whole area. I did not drive all the way down the road. We kind of just drove up there in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that I came back here and I told you.
Yeah, you did.
I said, it doesn't feel good there. Like something's off.
Yes.
It's giving me like a really weird feeling. So we let them know, like, flying the drone, really the only area we can even see is like where the house is. You can't really see anything in the woods. So like, this is one of those areas where it probably would be better to have like somebody searching on foot.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
You really just can't see anything from the sky. Mm-hmm. And I know TPSO had helicopters, drones, all that stuff. And, you know, they searched by foot across the street and things like that, and checked inside all those abandoned cars and all of that, because, you know, that would be my first place to go to, because there was just a lot of stuff over there. Nobody was finding anything, really. No idea where to go from here. Like there was just not a lot as far as leads to where he could be or anything like that. Lots of speculation, just not anything like to go on.
Yeah.
Honestly. So months and months and months and months and months pass. And on September 12th, so about 3 months later,
mm-hmm.
There is the discovery of human remains in a wooded area near his address. Until like last week.
Mm-hmm.
Those remains were under analysis at the Louisiana State Police Crime Lab. And it's called FACES. So they had them there for identification purposes.
Yes.
It's a very specialized lab. So, you know, they were trying to make sure they had the best people doing this DNA testing.
Yes.
And trying to figure out, because these were very decomposed remains. Like, it was bones, basically.
Yeah. And in the Louisiana heat.
Yes.
Very
it doesn't
quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, it doesn't seem like, oh, that was long enough for somebody to be completely gone.
Yes.
Like that. But it was hot.
Yes.
Hot, seriously wet. Like, it rained a bunch.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Yeah. But during this time that these remains were at the lab, like, I had already gone back to the street because I only rode in the front, and I was like, that weird feeling I had, let me drive all the way down the road. Just make me, like, I'm wondering if the road was just giving me the heaves.
Right.
Or if there was just something specific to a certain area. And every single time, like, I drove up and down it a couple times to verify the way I felt. I was like, every single time I got near that gravel driveway that was after the abandoned house that sat next door to his house, every time I was like, it feels gross right here. Like, everywhere else was okay. It felt gross right there. Well, I want to say it was a couple days after the last time I had drove down there, just to make sure that I was feeling what I was feeling.
Right.
Because I'm still conversing with the family member that had reached out, you know, just trying to dig around and see what I could help find for them as well. But not a lot was happening, of course. Like I said, there really wasn't anything to go on. No, like, we think this, we think that, whatever. Well, the abandoned house next door to Jimmy's mother's house, where he was living, is set on fire. It burns completely to the ground. This, I feel so bad for the family of the, you know, that house belonged to one of the Ponchatoula police officers' parents.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if they had still a lot of family stuff inside there or what, but I mean, whatever was there was gone at that point.
Like, everything was just like
it
gone.
was totally burned out. And of course, that brings up more speculation, like,
yeah,
is this somehow related? Because this happens after remains are found.
Yes, in very close proximity of where they were.
Correct. Like, all of this is happening right there at that front little left-hand side beginning of the street. So, I mean, is it coincidence? Is it related? We don't know. Still don't know. But the DNA testing did confirm that the remains were Jimmy's. At that point, Sheriff Gerald Sticker puts out his sentiment and saying, you know, their hearts go out to the family. It is devastating news. Very devastating.
Oh, absolutely.
When you don't know, you still have hope.
Yeah, you still have hope that maybe they're out there somewhere.
And it was an excruciating wait, which is putting it mildly, because it was so long, and all you can do is feel completely terrible for everyone involved, like his family, his friends, his children. It's like, you know, I don't know. Like, I couldn't even imagine. So now they have one answer. But now they need the rest.
Oh, yeah, of course.
His remains being identified as his, they have now transitioned this into a homicide investigation. Because, as per the release from the TPSO, there was evidence of gunshot wounds with the remains. Now, of course, the question is, who knows what?
Right. Somebody knows something that has not come forward.
Yeah. There's got to be someone with some sort of information somewhere. Because there's no way. I'm like, well, I guess there is a way. mean, they have silencers and many other things.
Right.
But do I feel like this was a premeditated situation? Probably not.
No.
It doesn't seem that way. I mean, his remains were found not very far from his own home.
I think it was in a moment type of thing, and something happened with someone and they got mad or something like that. I don't know. It's just a speculation, but I don't think it was like an accident.
Yeah, right. Like it was a heat of the moment, I guess, type of situation. I don't know. But the mother of his children expressed how tough the last 9 months had been.
Yeah.
And she told WBRZ Channel 2 that it was really sad and stressful not knowing where he was or what happened. We pretty much assumed something really bad had happened right out of the gate. Just waves of emotion every day.
Yeah.
She feels like it should have been treated like a homicide from the very beginning. She said, I don't understand why it's just now they're saying it's a homicide, because when they found the remains, they knew there were gunshot wounds. So obviously at this point, no arrests have been made.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for suspects, saying that they do have people calling into the tip lines. They are following up on every tip they get. And Sheriff Sticker had actually told Channel 2, we're looking for suspects and those... I don't understand this quote. He said, we're looking for suspects and those suspects. I'm like...
And those suspects. Okay.
Yes. I think someone out there knows an individual that maybe James had a problem with. Or should that be stated that's someone that had a problem with James?
Yeah.
Since he's the victim here.
Exactly. I don't think he went to look for trouble. I think trouble came to look for him.
Yeah. And of course, his family is pleading for anyone with information to come forward. Because while everybody goes, oh, because if you read the post from the TPSO on their Facebook page, you see a bunch of people going, well, at least now the family has closure. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
There's still so many unanswered questions. Like, what the heck happened?
Yeah. That's a very, okay, they found the remains, they identified them, and now it's a homicide. That's just the beginning. So
right.
That's not closure.
Again, as quoted by WBRZ, the mother of his children said, I would like to know why. Put yourself in our place.
Yeah.
If it was your own family, or even if it wasn't your own family, someone out there murdered him. And that person is still out there. Mm-hmm. Everybody is literally at risk. No one should be walking around free after killing somebody.
No, absolutely not.
And totally agree.
I mean, they can have like a memorial service and all that, but that does not.
It doesn't warrant
closure.
Right, exactly. Because there's still so much that remains unanswered.
Yeah. I mean, I understand like when the police, they knew that he was shot, they have to go through certain protocol, but
again, they could call it a homicide investigation from finding the remains with the evidence of being shot. But they don't know who it was.
Right.
So how do they, I mean, sure, there's a homicide investigation into who?
Yeah.
Into what?
And, at that point, they're like, oh, we know, but we have to like be 100% sure.
Yeah. And I mean, he's not the only missing person in Ponchatoula. There's
been a lot.
Many. And the fact that it was bones that they basically are picking up, like they had to find out for sure, because they could think maybe it was his, but then they can also be thinking like everyone else, like, geez, that was really fast.
Maybe it's the other,
maybe it's
5 or 10 people that are missing. Because there's been a lot here
because
recently.
They've been missing a really long, like a lot longer than him. And so with the decomposition, they could be thinking this could literally be any of them.
Right.
So that's...
Well, hopefully some more answers will come through and somebody will call into this tip line and give the tip that needs to be given.
And that is the reason I decided that we were putting something out Like, I'm not going to share
you've been holding on to this a while.
Like, I've been living with it.
Well, and we were just like, what, 2 weeks ago, right before the news came
talking about
out,
how there still hadn't been anything. Yeah. And that's why I said I've been just like kind of holding on to it, because really there wasn't a lot in order to like make an episode, but also I was like, I don't want to just get on for 5 seconds and say he's missing. Right. Please call this number. Like, it was tough because I did want to do that, but then at the same time, but that's why I'm here now, is because I'm like, at this point, even though there's still not a lot to go on, there's still not a lot of information, there's not a lot that I can give as far as info in this episode, but I can give you the number to call. If you or anyone you know has any information about this case, you're asked to contact the Investigations Division of TPSO at 985-902-2088. If you'd prefer to share the information anonymously, you can always go through Crime Stoppers of Tangi. The tip line is 1-800-554-5245, or you can visit www.tangicrimestoppers.com and click on the P3 tips icon or the submit a tip button. So, you do not have to tell them who you are.
Yeah, you can be anonymous and just let them know. If you know something, like, get it off your conscience.
Yeah. I just feel like somebody on that road has to know something. It is not a quiet road. Like, every time I've been down there, there's like lots of cars going up and down the street.
And I mean, if he's lived there for that long, a lot of people knew him. So,
or his mom.
And there's connections, and people know people in those, smaller rural communities. So somebody speak out.
Yeah, please. Please, please come forward and help this family. Now that I'm sad.
I know. I'm hoping that, maybe it'll be sooner than later.
Right. And I mean, my emotions are strictly just because I've gotten to know someone during this whole entire time, and not necessarily him, but someone in his family. So
you feel, for them and what they're having to go through.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So obviously, if there's any update to this case, we'll bring it. And hopefully there will be. I sincerely hope that this doesn't go cold and it actually gets solved.
Yes.
For sure.
I agree with that. So we hope we didn't make your Monday worse. But, these type of stories have to be told.
For sure.
And they're sad.
I know we've been keeping it a little more lighter, on the lighter side of the true crime realm recently.
But every once in a while, we got to get one of those in there, because life happens and things happen to people, and it's sad.
It is, very.
There's a lot of ugly going on in the world right now.
Yeah, there is. Tons of ugly everywhere. For sure.
And I don't like it.
No, me either. Me either. For sure.
Do you know who's not ugly?
Patty Salzetta.
So cute.
And she's always posting like positive affirmations.
Oh, always.
All the time.
Yep.
She's like just a really good human.
She's not a negative Nancy. She's a positive Patty.
That's right. Y'all be positive Patties.
Positive Patties.
We need more positive Patties in the world.
Yep. And
not all of you have to create our theme music.
Right.
Because she did a great job and we don't need any more.
Such a great job.
But definitely be a positive Patty.
Yep.
Thank you, Patty Salzetta.
Thank you. Pretty Patty. Pretty positive Patty. There we go. PPP. Pew, pew, pew.
My goodness.
Yes. But if you have any stories you want to tell, or
information you want to share.
Yeah, information you want to share. You like share it with us. We'll share it with Tangi.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Yep.
Connect it. You can send us any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And your sweet tea after dark.
Yes. And
stories.
I got a story. Yay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
So all of those things can be sent to holdmysweetteapodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And as always, Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production.
Bzz.
And just remember to stay safe out there. Call your family. Keep up with them.
Yes.
Because you never know when it's the last time.
Make sure everybody always knows you're okay.
Yeah. And just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep sipping.
Bye.